I'm back, and we're going to be talking a little bit about AI and some of the things that have transpired in the last month. And let me be very clear, AI is no longer a future. It is not the future. It is completely now. It is completely present. It is incredibly powerful, and it is also terrifying at the same time. I'm Anthony Michael Russo. It's time for the Daily Truth. It has been, I think, over a week. This is the longest gap I have ever gone without doing a daily truth. While we're here, I want you all to like this video, share this video, do all said things with this video. Let's get cracking. A little, I'm a little chit chat as we let people join. Got a little hail damage last evening. There was a little hailstorm, golf ball size hail where we were coming back from. Junebug, one of the dogs, had to go to the vet. Turns out that vet turned it, even though June was fine by the time really we got home, and this morning looking better. Very costly vet. And then you got the hail damage. So fun stuff on the farm. So like I said, like this video, share this video, do all said things with this video. Waiting for some people to jump on. I know it's so weird when the algorithm, when you have not been on in a while, people don't jump in. But let me get into this. First thing I want to mention, as always, Wednesdays, doubledownspeaking.com. Got my Wednesday night web workshop. We do have something very special coming up. The 13th of June, I have a speaking boot camp. We've got a Friday night webinar, and then we've got a whole day on Saturday. The Friday night webinar is free. Saturday is going to be my whole double down speaking class, the 8-week class, condensed into a technically about a 6-hour day. It's going to be awesome. I encourage you to join if you're always like, well, I can't really take all 8 weeks. I don't have the time to commit, and you want to do something very similar for much less cost, check that out. It'll be on the second screen. So once you sign up for the free webinar, you'll have the option to get it, and I encourage anybody to jump on there. Again, that's speakingbootcamp.com. If you like our gear, like any of the merch I wear, or want to talk about the BioPrecision Peptides Daily Flex, this is where Kelly makes fun of me. What's up, Justin Ward? Grand rising to you as well, my friend. Just go ahead and go to my Instagram at Anthony Michael Russo. Again, that's at Anthony Michael Russo. You'll see all the links in bio there. If you have questions about peptides, ask them to me. I love having these conversations. I love talking about it because it's health things that can help us as people. All right, got a few people that have jumped on. I want to get right in today's topic. I'll probably make short videos on Instagram about this as well, because I've been thinking about it a lot. I had a long conversation. I just did a keynote or presentation last week. A lot of spam coming in, a lot of random spam this morning. I was speaking with some people that are in the speaking world. They do workshopping. We were just talking about, if you haven't seen some of the new stuff on AI in the last month, where these video generated images are coming up. There was something that happened about a week ago where I saw this video that was showing how easy it is to now create these fake news stories, where you just have a fake human being, a AI generated human being, reporting completely fake news, something that has never happened, and it looks real. Man on the street thing, all of it looks so ridiculously real, to a point where in the last month things have completely shifted, like here to here, like that. And I know that there's a lot of talk about how Chat GPT was coming to 5.0, and there's some new video features. It's absolutely terrifying when you step back and look at it. Why is it terrifying? Not there's a cool factor, like, oh my gosh, we could do all this stuff. But now we are starting to get to the point where it is difficult to understand truth and reality and fake and all of the different it's hard to decipher what's real and what's not. That's the best way to say it. With all the advancements, even in the last month with AI, it is hard to determine what is real and what is fake. And that should be scary for people. If you look at the last several years of media coverage, the concept of fake news, the concept of what is true, what is false, what is spin, what is paid for, what is all these different things, it's already was hard enough. And now you add in the fact that there doesn't need to be a real human being behind it, is absolutely terrifying. So, as somebody that doesn't love the government needing to regulate things, as somebody that does not love the idea of government involvement in a lot of ways, something needs to get done, because the AI is getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and it's essentially evolving on its own. like this. So the question becomes, how do we control it? And I don't know how to even say that at this point, besides, you know, what kind of punishments can you give? So it's just something to think about in the sense that our lives, I think, are drastically about to change. They've already changed in the last 20 years compared to the 20 years before that. And then once the iPhone and the smartphones, since 20, I think 2007, I guess that would be almost 20 years now, like the exponential change. I think that exponential change of the last 20 years, which is probably the equivalent of the last 1,000 years, we're about to have that exact same thing in the next 2 years, will be the equivalent of all time, of all history. And I think a lot of it is AI driven. And there's some terrifying stuff to that. So there's also I'm going to give some positives. In all reality, the people that are going to succeed the most are the ones that know how to speak the language of the robots. Let's be very clear, speak the language of AI. So whether you're debating if ChatGPT is a toy or a tool, I'm telling you, it is 100% a tool. It is replacing jobs, it is rewriting rules, and it is doing it incredibly quickly. So if you have the opportunity to spend $47 or $12 or 50 on learning more about AI, even if it's a mediocre program, I would suggest doing it, or talk to somebody, or get coaching. Or there's universities that are teaching for non-university students that are having classes on learning it. I would just do it, just so you can speak the language, if you want to call it the enemy, speak the language of the enemy, but also know that it is a tool that we're all going to be using. So this isn't, no longer is this a question of if AI will impact your life. I believe it already is. Um, the question is, how will you adapt to it? Every day, the tools are getting smarter and smarter. Voices are getting cloned, which is freaky. I just said how videos are getting faked, content is being mass produced, and then truth is now a construct. Truth is optional construct for the people that are creating these imageries. And as I said, I am a capitalist. I believe in innovation, but there has to be some kind of oversight. And we have to start thinking about that. And there's going to be more that I'm going to discuss very quickly. What's up, Rhonda? I see you. Jennifer, how's it going? Justin's still in the chat. At what point do we say, if you create fake videos or manipulate reality with AI without transparency, it's not just like, oh, you're losing your social media account? At what point does it become a legally accountable thing? Because if we don't punish quickly, it will get out of hand quickly. I've also heard there was an AI that people were trying to shut off their bot, and it was actually finding ways to not shut them off, which means AI wants to live, which is even scarier. So at this point, it's not about stopping AI. It's about how do we steer it in a direction where we are not at major risk of Terminator type scenario. Because right now we're building a machine that can outpace humanity in such a exponential and fast rate. It's a little bit scary. The only thing lagging behind all of this is the actual conscience behind all of it. So I do believe that we have to get ahead of it. Now, the next question is, like, what professions are safe? As somebody that speaks for a living, I'm like, well, there's something visceral about a human being speaking. I'm like, I feel safe, but then I see that they're able to create these images of newscasters and whatever it might be that are completely fake and look not 99%, but look 100% real. So then it becomes all these different jobs, or whether it's simplifying. I mean, I even see that there's AI giving better advice or better recommendations than doctors in real time, because they're able to use so many different references. Like, what professions are going to maintain? And then you have to say, wait a second, if all of these professions are going away, do we actually have to start thinking of a universal income, basic universal income, which obviously is not something that I would typically be in favor of or think of. But at the same time, if we're in 2 to 4 years from now cutting down so many jobs, how that will be a wealth transfer like we've ever seen. It'll be the people that control the robots, the people that control the industry, the people that control AI, and then everybody else. And the ones that maybe know how to do just enough to get by. That's terrifying. That's absolutely scary. You can take AI now and build your own psychologist based off of your brain and based off research. So even psychologists can go away. Then you look at the fact that Elon is building these robots that he's been talking about for a while that can replace all the manual labor stuff around the house. I mean, it sounds like that's great. Like, there's all these great advancements, but then all of a sudden we're taking away so many jobs. How do we have an income? There's a lot of really scary stuff to consider and to think about. Whether it's all the way from the idea of completely creating fake, false human being content to the fact that there's going to be a lot of jobs gone in the next, some people said 5 years, some people said 10 years. And then I'm like, I think 2 to 4 years, the landscape's going to be vastly different. And then, of course, we've got midterm elections coming up with all the fake stuff. We've got the midterm elections coming up in the next year or so where we're going to be deep into it. You're not going to know truth from reality. How do you check what's a deep fake, what's not? It is terrifying on a lot of different levels. And I don't like to just be the bearer of bad news, but something to think about, something to consider, and understand that, I guess, prepare yourself. The positivity behind this is prepare yourself for a way of life that will change, whether you're 70 years old, 50 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, whatever it is. Start to speak the language of AI more so than just using it to prompt for emails or using it as another Google search. Try to find different places, different ways to learn and utilize the skills at our hand, and not get stuck behind the times. Because again, we're going to have a very different landscape in this world in just about 2 years or less. I mean, we're already having it. So something to think about for my welcome back on Truth, because I've been gone for a while. Welcome back. Welcome back. God bless, guys. I hope you have a, what's that? God bless you. God bless you, Kelly. Bless your pea picking heart. As I said, go to speakingbootcamp.com. I've got this one is not a interactive. So if you've always been afraid of doing the interactive workshops, go to that. It is a Friday night, June 13th special occasion. I'm doing a 1 hour boot camp. And then the next day I am doing a full day boot camp, my whole class condensed, my $1,500 class condensed into one day at a much, much lower price. I encourage you to check it out. I would love to see you guys there. God bless and have a great rest of your day. Good to see you, Jennifer. I think there's a new name I haven't seen in here before. So Jennifer Bailey, what up? Rhonda, as always, everybody, Jeanette, welcome. All right. God bless, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Check out my Instagram at Anthony Michael Russo. Links are in bio for all the different stuff, from the t-shirts, which you use Truth at 20% off at checkout for 20% off. Bio Precision Peptides and Century Wellness, use Russo 10. Have a great day. Catch you later. Don't surrender your pets. Don't be a garbage human being.